Now, this afternoon, the management of La Bianca Company Limited says it is saddened by the recent publication on the recent report by the Office of the Special Prosecutor regarding the activities of the company and its subsequent discussions in the media. According to the company, though the Office of the Special Prosecutor has not written formally to it on its findings as required by due process and fair trial rules, they believe that the report findings are at variance with their collection of events and submissions made to the office. These are contained in a statement released by the company in response to the recent publication by the Office of the Special Prosecutor. My colleague Elton John Brobe joins me live on Zoom with details of the statement. Elton, what does the company say about the findings by the Office of the Special Prosecutor?
Well, according to them, they take the findings of the Office of the Special Prosecutor seriously and have, instructed their lawyers to take the necessary action on this matter. Now, the statement goes on to explain how they got involved in the matter that, according to, has been misconstrued as evasion of tax by the Office of the Special Prosecutor. According to them, over the years, the company has, in accordance with due process, applied for customs advance ruling under the Customs Act 2015. Indeed, over the years, the company has been tax compliant and has discharged all its obligations dutifully, according to them. Now, they say that due to the nature of the operations of importers like La Bianca, the Ghana Revenue Authority, per Act 891, conducts periodic post-clearance audits to determine possible undervaluation or overpayment of taxes. Now, the statement again says that the assumption of the rejection by the Office of the Special Prosecutor on such post-clearance audit and settlement of such taxes arising from such an audit is not synonymous with corruption or corruption-related activities by the company. The several communications between the Office of the Special Prosecutor and the company, according to them, affirms this. And they have the view that the Special Prosecutor is either misinformed or is not abreast with the way things are done between importers and especially those who import large quantity of goods into the country.
Do they give any indication of the next steps they as a company will be taking?
First, they mentioned, for example, that the Office of the Special Prosecutor has not written formally to the company on its findings as required by due process and fair trial rules. And they believe that the report findings are at variance with our recollection of events and submission made to the office, even in the absence of a formal communication to La Bianca company. The statement says that the company has instructed its lawyers to take the necessary action to clear their name.
Thank you very much. So that's my colleague Elton John Brobe with details of that release from the company there. Now, this afternoon, we are not posting senior high school graduate to act as nurses or doctors. That's the response from the Youth Employment Agency after it received backlash over its ongoing enrollment of high school students for deployment to rural health centers across the country. The job description of the recruit is to SHS leavers to help nurses with recording medical history and symptoms, conducting physical examinations, and providing simple bedside care to patients, mostly in rural communities. However, the Registered Nurses and Midwives Association is describing the move as worrying and potent danger to public health. David Tinkrai Chum is General Secretary of the group.
To the health of Mother Ghana and everybody in here. So we acknowledge the work of doctors, we acknowledge the work of nurses, we acknowledge the work of midwives and so on and so forth. However, I'm not sure everybody can do every kind of job in whichever field they are. And we have a basis for what we are doing, which is greatly supported by the World Health Organization, it's supported by the African Union, and it's supported by the Parliament of Ghana, the Ministry of Health. In fact, we are doing this under the auspices of the Ghana Health Service. It would be very surprising to believe or think that the Ghana Health Service, the Health Subcommittee of the Parliament of Ghana, and the Ministry of Health have not gone through all of these things that we are talking about and have not really thought about it. What we are doing is, first of all, to create employment for the young people, young men and women of Ghana. Secondly, to attend to primary health care delivery in preventable health care, and especially in the rural communities. We are not posting anybody to any big hospital like the Bank Hospital here in Accra. We are not posting anybody to for example, the Tamale Regional Hospital or the Northern Regional Hospital in Tamale. We are pushing them to the chief's compound. We are pushing them not to act as nurses. We have been very explicit on this. Not to act as nurses, not to act as doctors, but to act as preventive health service officers. My brother, you would agree with me that we are in the rainy season, for example. Cholera usually comes out as an outbreak every rainy season here in Ghana. What do we do that we get cholera as an outbreak every rainy season here in Ghana? It is because of little practices that we have in our homes.
Yeah, but if you may, I mean, if you look at the concerns from the group, they're saying the CHIPS compound actually formed the basic unit of our healthcare system. You don't want to dwell with that, particularly knowing how difficult it is for some in the rural communities to access some of the district facilities.
Why did we write that community health service providers are going to man the CHIP compounds? We haven't said that anywhere. We are not saying that they are going to be administrators of CHIP compounds. We have not said that they are going to administer injections to anybody. We have not said that they are even going to take temperatures of anybody. They are going to assist the professionals.
But there are a raft of measures, or I mean, some of the services they'll be able to provide, and that, for instance.
So if I may, you have a list of that? Let me just explain it.
Right.
If I may, and he understands that none of our recruited people are going to provide these services that are provided by professional health service providers, and that is what we are talking about. That, for example, pick a folder for me. If I'm a nurse and I'm attending to a patient, pick a folder for me. What kind of expertise do you need to pick a folder for someone? Attend to or educate people in their houses on the fact that you don't need to defecate anyhow so that we can prevent cholera outbreak. What kind of expertise do you need to be able to do that? These are young men and women we are taking out of these communities, very remote areas where you post midwives and they don't want to go, where you post doctors and they don't want to go. That we should be able to prevent, for example, outbreaks. When Corona came out, we needed people to go into houses to educate people on how to wash their hands, how to bath, how to do things when they come back from town. It's the public and these people that you will get into place. These are people with aspirations to become nurses. And they call them SHS leavers. We don't call them SHS leavers. They are graduates of SHS. Some of them don't have the requisite certification yet. Others have the requisite certification.
So that's Akufo-Addo who speaks for the YEA. We cannot listen to the General Secretary of the Nurses and Midwives Association, Chum.
We saw a publication on Joy Online to that effect, and we have gone on this route before, so we are not surprised at all to see this thing being resurrected. So that was the reason. That is how it came to our attention. The YA should halt that program. They can train people for various reasons. We have no qualms with that. But once they have specified that they are going to train people for that number of weeks to be sent to assist nurses, is where we have the problem. Because we have already trained nurses and midwives in the system, close to about 20,000 people who are ready for employment. 10,727 of them actually access the recruitment portal of the Ministry of Health for the past 9 months. And all what was left was to distribute them to the various agencies under the ministry for them to start work. That did not happen, or it has not happened up to this time. So what is the essence of going to use the taxpayers' money to train people again? And we read in their bullets that they will discharge themselves in a manner, in a way that they could assist nurses by taking medical history. It appears as if they don't understand what constitutes medical history. Now, if you want to take medical history, it's not like, what is your father's name? Where does your father come from? You need specialized skill to be able to do that.
Now, moving on. Provisional data cited by JoyNews this afternoon indicates that government has so far received less than the 7% of its E-levy target. This data was contained in a document released by the Finance Ministry. My colleague Isaac Kofi-Addo is a data analyst with JoyNews team, and he joins me on Zoom with more. So, Kofi, what are the details of this, data that we've gathered?
So this is what we know so far from the ministry's, Finance Ministry's provisional fiscal data spanning the first and second quarters of 2022. So originally, E-levy was expected to rake in some 6.9 billion Ghana cedis by the end of this year, and this was slashed significantly to some 4.5 billion Ghana cedis. Now let's go into the data. So if you look at the original target of 6.96 billion cedis, second quarter was expected to bring in 1.46 billion Ghana cedis. Now looking at the provisional data we have, government says it has now collected 93.7 million Ghana cedis. And if you compare it to the original target, it's just 6.4% of what we targeted to collect within the second quarter of 2022. And let's also compare it to the revised target of 4.5 billion cedis. And this is also around the same 93.7 million. This is also just 6.2% of the revised target of 4.5 million cedis. Now, on month-on-month basis, May was expected to rake in 487.4 million Ghana cedis. Looking at the provisional data so far, government has reported they've collected 39.4 million cedis. And if you do the math, this is around 8.08% of the original target. June was also expected to bring in 417.8 million Ghana cedis. If you compare it to what we've collected so far, which is 54.3 million, it is just 12.99%, Brace.
Were we told the reasons for the underperformance in collection of the E-levy revenue?
So this is more or less like a dashboard that is being provided by the Ministry of Finance, and it's just figures based. You do not have reasons. It's just cataloging and then also reporting what government has collected so far from its various revenue sources. So it's not just E-levy. We also have the communication tax, pollution tax, the price stabilization recovery tax, and every other tax in there. Government's actually just reporting on what it's collecting so far. And I must emphasize that this is a provisional data, and the research desk is keeping tabs on this, and we will bring you the data as and when the ministry updates their statistics.
Thank you very much. Kofi-Addo is a data analyst here at JoyNews. Now, President Akufo-Addo has rounded his 3-day tour of the Upper West region, pledging to the chiefs and people of the Upper West region to redeem all pledges made during the tour. He stated that though the New Patriotic Party continued to play second fiddle to the National Democratic Congress in most constituencies in the region, that will not deter him from delivering to them their share of the country's wealth. JoyNews' Upper West regional correspondent Rafiq Salam reports from Wa.
Apart from the commissioning of the Keleo solar power plant in the Nadolo-Keleo district, other key programs which were in the itinerary of the president was the inspection of ongoing works on the construction of Agenda 111 hospitals in the region. 5 districts in the Upper West region are benefiting from the hospital project. One of them is the Dafema Bure Isa district, which until recently could only boast of the Isa Health Center as their last referral health facility. Patients who wish to seek high medical health care at a hospital has to travel over 56 kilometers to either Wa or Nadoli. Paramount Chief of Isa, Najelku Ambawele, speaking through Na Bismarck, saw the construction of the district hospital as a good omen following earlier request to the president during his last visit to the district. President Akufo-Addo stated that despite the goodwill shown to the district by the New Patriotic Party NPP over the years, it has always been rejected at the polls by the people. That notwithstanding, they are of the firm belief that the country's resources should be shared equally, irrespective of which party one belongs.
Time and time again, the people of Dafiama Isabusa voted NDC. Without one single kilometer of tarred roads. 7 times you have voted NDC. But since 2016, which is the first time since I came into office, since then, you are beginning to see tarred roads in Dafiama, Isabusa constituency, even though still you don't vote for me. The last time the vote was small, the difference between us, but we are continuing the road development in Dafiama, Isabusa.
Roads and Highways Minister Kwesi Amankwata spoke of government plans of fixing the Fian Isaka-Jikperi Wolembele Road. He called on the people of the area to reject the NDC and vote for the MPP, which has been delivering massive projects to them, but which they have continuously been rejecting. President Akufo-Addo rounded his 3-day tour of the region at Ochao, where he met with the chiefs and people of the area. He called on the people of the area to reject the NDC and vote for the MPP, which has been delivering massive projects to them, but which they have continuously been rejecting. Turning to the Member of Parliament for Wa West, Superintendent retired Lanjere Tubu, who was present at the gathering, he mocked at him while assuring him that he won't be out of job should the NDC loses the next election.
I would hesitate in saying that it would be great if, having seen the positive things that we're doing in Uchao and in Wa West, the Wa West will take the lead in 2024 in breaking the 8 in the Upper West region. I know my friend the MP will be out of a job, but he doesn't have to be worried. The next MPP government will take care of it.
He also inspected ongoing works at the Wa West District Agenda 111 project. The foundation concrete has already been laid and the concrete walls erected. President Akufo-Addo earlier was at the World Shopping Center constructed under the Ghana Secondary City Support Program with support from the local government and rural development and funded by the World Bank. The president has since left the Upper West region for the Savannah region to begin another 3-day tour. Reporting for JoyNews, Rafiq Salam. Wow.
As you're watching the Joy News today, we'll take a quick break. We'll be back with more news. Stay with us. Welcome back from the break. Now, some National Democratic Congress youth in the Tamale metropolis of the Northern region have vandalized the party's regional office in protest of a decision to let one of the party's vice chair, Ali Adolf, act as party chairman. The party's leadership made the decision following the death of the party's chairman, Alhaji Ibrahim Mobila. The youth stormed the party office, ordered the occupant to leave and locked up the place. They later vandalized the structure and destroyed properties. In the video JoyNews obtained, you could hear gunshot amidst the commotion and demands that Ahmed Rufai Velim rather be allowed to act as regional chairman of the party. Mohammed Salam, who is regional secretary of the NDC in Tamale, has been speaking to me on News Desk.
Let me correct, first of all, an impression that's been created that the office was vandalized. There were plastic chairs and benches which were broken at the frontage of the party office. The party office itself has not been vandalized. They only made away with the laptop of my administrative assistant and then moved him out of the office and locked the office. So the office structure itself, as we speak, there's no damage on the office. But the office has not been vandalized. Okay.
So what has the party been doing to handle this particular issue?
Well, first of all, the aspects that has to do with crime is being dealt with by the security agencies. They have taken the statements, the pieces of evidences. They have made some arrests and they are investigating the matter. So the police can speak to the aspect of the crime. On the party front, the bits and pieces are being put together. Yesterday, the party's leadership, not just the executives, but the Council of Elders, together with some elders of the party in the region, very, very respectful elders of the party, together with the regional executives, met. And very soon, a formal statement on the decisions taken will be made known to the public. And then the head office will be contacted for the appropriate rules as prescribed by the party's constitution to be applied.
We speak. And you mentioned that there have been some arrests. How many people have been arrested?
Pardon me?
We understand you are at the police station as we speak now. And you told us that some people have been picked up already. How many people have been arrested by the police? At least two. Two people. One has been released on bail. One is currently being processed. Now moving on to other stories. A research by civil society organization Pen Plus Byte has shown that social protection programs receive little funding. The findings also reveal that payment and disbursement are often delayed. The group is asking government to bridge the gaps as the programs are failing to realize their intended goals. There's more in this report.
Speaking on the sidelines of an event dubbed Social Accountability Forum, the group advocated for the passage of the Social Protection Bill to ensure the sustainability of social intervention programs. The organization asserts that these programs are not having the desired effect. Felix Amache is the research team lead.
We're surprised that LEAP has been there since 2008. So by now, we should be able to have majority of people are benefited or people around seeing the benefits way above maybe 80%. But you could still realize that, there are others who think that it is not really meeting their desired. When you look at the free senior high school, there are shortages in areas in terms of infrastructure. Some also complain that they are not getting their food supply good enough, early enough.
The organization believes that passing the Social Protection Bill will secure finances for the sector and promote coordination and integration of programs.
We want to encourage government to do more and also try as much as possible for us that all these social protection interventions can be pulled together, and then we can have our social protection bill to push effective implementation and also elements of accountability. We believe that when there is that law, it can reduce waste, it can reduce corruption, it can also reduce the element of delays.
Programs Officer of St. Ghana, Dr. Isaac Nyako Kwache, supports the call by Pen Plus Bytes.
And this is a special policy that is targeting the poor and the very poor, the vulnerable people within the Ghanaian context. So if we don't have the legal backings and we are trying to advocate, then what is the essence of our advocacy? The government will one day tell you that there is no law trying to commit them to commit a lot of funds and resources into that area. So we think that it is important when we have the legal instrument so that we can always refer to that.
The organization also launched the Shortchanged app, which is to track government social protection policies. Efua Aprikwa Boafo's report read to you.
Now, the Ghana Police Service, in collaboration with the Peasant Farmers Association of Ghana, has launched a flyer containing do's and don'ts to guide long cargo drivers on the road. Speaking to JoyNews, Director of Operations at the MTTD of the Ghana Police Service, Chief Superintendent Dr. Samuel Sasumingsa, said the purpose is to ensure discipline on the road and timely transportation of perishable goods from rural communities. Samuel Mbura reports.
There have been reports of delays in the carting of perishable goods like tomatoes, vegetables from the rural areas to the cities like Accra due to misunderstandings between drivers of long cargo vehicles and the Ghana Police Service. In an attempt to reduce some of these challenges on the road to save the farmers and the traders, the Peasant Farmers Association has collaborated with the Ghana Police Service to come out with flyers that contain the do's and don'ts to ensure safety on the road. the Director in charge of operations at the Motor Traffic and Transport Department of the Ghana Police Service, Chief Superintendent Dr. Samuel Sasumensa, explains what is contained in the flyers.
Basically, it is meant to sensitize drivers, sensitize road users on the rules and regulations, what they are supposed to do, what they are supposed not to do, so that the education will go back to all drivers, both truck drivers who are using the road, so that the disagreements with the police who are manning our roads will stop. The crux of the issue is that drivers and policemen are not enemies, but we are there for our simple good. So it is the task for drivers to abide by the contents of the traffic rules and regulations, so that at the end of the day, they don't see the police as enemies. Police, we also don't see them as enemies. But
on his part, the Executive Director of the Peasant Farmers Association, Charles Nyaba, is happy about this collaboration, hoping it will improve food security in the country.
Most of these drivers don't really know the kind of the road regulations that they're supposed to take when they are bringing goods. So this flyer contains all those guidelines. So it will help them before they even travel, how to prepare themselves, things they need to carry, the checkups that they need to make, and when they are approaching the police barrier, things that they need to do. So we think that it will go a long way to actually provide some safety measures for they themselves and the goods that they are carrying.
Meanwhile, the Cargo Drivers Association says this will also deepen and ensure discipline on the part of their members towards ensuring that the road is safe.
There are so many issues that normally comes in between the drivers and the policemen, and because we normally have less experiences over certain things, we tend to be acting in discipline. You understand? So this one will bring much discipline in between. So anytime you have a case with a policeman, you will know how to approach him or her, so that discipline will be there.
The collaboration between the Ghana Police Service, Peasant Farmers Association and the cargo drivers and other relevant stakeholders is to ensure discipline on the road in order to beat down the number of road crashes as witnessed in the past years. For JoyNews, Samuel Mbura, Accra.
Now, the much anticipated EcoBank JoyNews Habitat Fair is ongoing now at the Accra International Conference Center. The 5-day event from August 24 to 28 is on the theme Home Ownership, Where You Live Matters. And it is expected to attract about 100 exhibitors that are expected to showcase their offerings to the teeming patrons who throng the fairgrounds. We understand that there are so many discounts available for patrons. So do pass by and get yourself, a housing product. We'll be going to the ground to bring you more from there. But in the meantime, we'll bring you business, which will bring you later from that world there. Stay with us more for more on that business segment. Stay with us.
Hello, good afternoon. My name is Beverly Broom. It's time to do business. Now, the Chief Executive Officer of Universal Merchant Bank, Nana Dremo Bena, says some operations of the banking industry have been affected by the hike in policy rate. According to him, though the increase in the policy rate will help mop up excess liquidity to control inflation, financial institutions will have to reposition their businesses in order to reduce the impact. He spoke to Joy Business.
As bankers who work in the economy, we always react to what it is that the policy and the regulators come up with. And as you know, the rate has just been increased, and we are working with our clients to find ways that they will be able to sort of absorb and do this. Clearly, with the rise in the policy rates, it inhibits our ability to do as much credit as we were doing. And so we go back to our clients again and figure out how they can recalibrate their businesses to survive. which is what we are for. We stand as partners with our clients to work with them in any circumstances we find ourselves in. Oh, it certainly will, because we also are a business in this economy, and therefore anything that happens in this economy has an impact on us as well. But just like our clients, we are also on the drawing board at the moment, making sure that we can re-engineer ourselves to allow us to go through this particular time in the economy.
Some senior high schools taking part in the ongoing Renewable Energy Challenge will be granted patent rights for the clean technologies they have created for cooking and food processing. This follows agreement between the Energy Commission, the Council for Scientific and Industrial Research, and the US-based Clean Cooking Alliance. The Renewable Energy Challenge aims to streamline renewable energy and energy efficiency for STEM education while encouraging creativity and monitoring among young students in Ghana's second cycle universities.
This year's theme hinges on providing renewable technologies for clean cooking and food processing. The World Health Organization estimates an average of 4 million people die yearly from toxic pollution emanating from conventionally detrimental cooking processes using fuels. The Energy Commission, through its Renewable Energy Act 2011, seeks to promote efficient use of electricity and renewable energy resources to help the country in achieving the Sustainable Development Goal 7. Kofi Jakon is Director for Renewable Energy, Energy Efficient and Climate Change at the Energy Commission.
The whole world is now moving away from fossil-powered economy to renewable-powered economies. And God being very gracious unto us, we have the renewable resources in abundance. It is the technology that we don't have. So we want to inculcate in these young ones the ability and the willpower to look around them, make use of local resources to turn the indigenous renewable resources that we have around to make them useful to the citizenry.
Executive Secretary of the Energy Commission, Oscar Amonu Neza, revealed participating schools will enjoy patent rights to their technologies with mentorship and technical support from the Clean Cooking Alliance and Council for Scientific and Industrial Research.
The much-anticipated EcoBank JoyNews Habitat Fair kicks off today at the Accra International Conference Center. The 5-day event from August 24 to 28 is on the theme Home Ownership, Where You Live Matters, and is expected to attract about 100 exhibitors that are expected to showcase their offerings to the teeming patrons who would throng the fairground. My colleague Maxwell Agbagba is live on the ground.
Yes, so we're live here at the Accra International Conference Center where the EcoBank JoyNews Habitat Fair is happening. We've had a lot of patrons, coming through. You can see from the other side, many of them gathered checking out what our exhibitors have on offer here. If you go to right just after the entrance here at the foyer of the Accra International Conference Center, it is also busy, just as this side is busy. The food court also is busy. But I mean, particularly, I'm intrigued by the innovation of many of our exhibitors here. And this is just one of them, Bamboo Products Limited. We're going to talk to one of their reps to find out from them what they do. And I'm particularly intrigued by what you're doing with the bamboos. Yeah, tell me, what do we have here?
Okay, so we have the bamboo pergola, we have the fencing, we have the shelters, and we have the, we have the, so we have the pergolas, the fencing, the ceiling, shelters, and partitions. So these are some of our products. We have the weave 4x4 panel, we have the weave bamboo 4x4 panel for the ceiling. Use it for the. You can
use a bamboo for my ceiling.
Yeah, you can really use it for your ceiling, both your house, your stores, everywhere. You can use the bamboo weaved for it. We have this one. We have different samples. This is for fencing. We have this one for fencing. This one too is being used for fencing. This one too is being used for fencing. This is a smaller weaved panel form of it. You also have the bamboo stand, which you can use it in your office, your home. You can put your files on it. You can put your files under over here. We have all these things. Okay, so we have the bamboo phone holder. It's used. Yeah, it's used in holding your phone. So when you're at the office and you just don't want to be disturbed, you just tape your phone over there and you can do everything you have over there. We have the lighting system.
Okay, so you have the lighting system. You also have the bamboo cup and the bamboo what? Chopstick.
Yeah, we have the bamboo cups and we have the bamboo chopsticks.
Cutlery.
Yeah, we have the cutlery sets too over here, which you can use it in your house, your office, everywhere. And there's one thing about our product. Our product is well treated. It goes through a whole lot of process before we have this seal. So the durability is perfect. You shouldn't worry about it.
So termite proof or something?
Termite proof. The termite cannot touch it. They can't bore through because of the chemicals we use in treating. And we don't use harmful chemicals. We use chemicals which when you eat with it, you are not going to get it. We have the bamboo board. The bamboo board can be used for your house, your facial, tabletop, everything. You can use the bamboo board in making everything. We have the bigger size.
So let's see what we have here. So we're talking, okay, yeah, so.
We have the bamboo board over here. Okay. You can use it to do your tables, everything. Okay. On top of the table, you can use the bamboo board in making it. Yeah, this is a bamboo light, natural, which we have the lighting system. We have different type of light. There's 1, 2 over there. Okay. The tabletop lamp light. We have our slacks. We have the bamboo slacks, which you can use it to do all your housework, both for fencing, everything that the slacks can do, you can use it for.
I want us to see what we can do with the bamboos.
Yeah.
So you want to show us some of the things that we can do?
For fencing, we use it for fencing. Yeah. So we use some of the slats for fencing over here. So if you watch our screen, you can see some of the fencings over here. So when you have, let's say, a summer hat, anything, when you call us, we're able to fence. We're also able to fence pergolas as it goes through. So these are our team members at the site fencing using the bamboo slat.
And that was our man, Maxwell Agbagba, right there interacting with some exhibitors there at the Accra International Conference Center where the EcoBank JoyNews Habitat Fair is ongoing. So you can head there to get all your housing needs. And that's how we wrap up business here on the JoyNews channel with me, Beverly Broom. Up next, the sports.
Let's do sports now on JoyNews today with me, Muftau Nabila Abdullah. Ghana's all-time leading goal scorer, Asamoah Gyan, insists he doesn't believe Ghanaians have celebrated him enough despite his achievements with the national team. The 36-year-old is now clubless, but remains the country's top scorer with 51 goals after playing in the Black Stars for close to 2 decades. The former Al Ain forward says he deserves to be celebrated more.
I don't think so. You know, there are a lot of people who come on social media, disrespect me. You know, they say a lot of things, but they know the truth. You know, they say a lot of things. And one thing about Ghanaians is they know the right thing. Instead of them to put you out there, they will not do it. But when foreigners praise this, that is where they bring their star. For example,
to compare.
For example,
Yeah.
I was on social media. I saw when Cristiano Ronaldo scored 9 consecutive tournaments. He scored like he didn't break my record. He equaled my record.
Right.
Because I was the only player who had scored in 9 consecutive tournaments. And then when Ronaldo scored, They put him there, that he was the one who has set that record. And then Ghanaians started attacking the person.
So they know the truth.
They know the truth. Why didn't they say it before for people to know?
Yeah.
You know? And then when people start praising their icons, that is where they come out and say, we also have a Samoa Jan. But in my own country, you see people disrespecting me, creating a lot of stories about me, you know, which I feel like it's not it. So when I see people defending me on social media, I just sit down and say, look at these hypocrites.
Samoa Jan, the Black Galaxy's coach, Anna Walker, says he's content with the side's performance against World Cup host Qatar, despite losing 2-1 in a friendly match. House of Oak star Daniel Barnier scored a consolation for Ghana's Black Galaxies in their 2-1 loss on Tuesday evening. But Coach Walker is a happy man.
All along the night, I needed a match to see. Now, media prepare ye into praying for now match. MIN Austria has a Yababe Bona competition. Now, Midday.
I am very happy with the initiative to set up a friendly in Austria. We faced World Cup hosts who have been camping for 4 months. We conceded 2 goals in the first half and reduced the deficit in the second. I am happy with the way we played.
4 months. In 2-1 and then early goes in the first half, but the second half and then in fact on ball ball and my manage until Midday say mania say opportunity at their training as a training match.
That's your sports for now, but we have more sports stories on myjoyonline.com and also at 2 p.m. when we come your way with sports today. Up next is Showbiz.
Good afternoon, welcome to Showbiz here on JoyNews. The Nigerian dancehall artist Samini has been sworn in as the SRC president of the Ghana Institute of Management and Public Administration, GIMPA. The musician is hopeful that his position will help him further his political ambitions in the future.
Reggae dancehall artist Samini has been sworn in as the new SRC president for GIMPA. I further solemnly swear that I will The ceremony that was held on the premises of GIMPA saw the Deputy Minister of Tourism, Art and Culture, Honorable Marco Kwekumante, attend. The Deputy Director of GIMPA was in attendance. The Dean of Students was also there. In his speech, the Deputy Minister, Honorable Marco Kwekumante, expressed how proud he was of Samini for the leadership role that he has taken.
I'm a student of GIMPA as well, and I'm surprised my people chose a president who puts on earring and sunglasses giving a speech. Ras, Charlie, you do all. It is not easy, especially when you have some small fans around. Then some of the lecturers decide to talk to you anyhow, and you are popular.
Now, the Ghana DJ Awards kicked off its 2020 campaign right with the maiden edition of the Pub Fest tour in the heart of Accra. The lavish party was held at Purple Pub in Osu. Various DJs took their turns to get the crowd excited. Here are some highlights.
This is why I'm here. I'm here tonight because I'm so excited about this.
Expect vibes, 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 vibes.
So DJ Awards is good to recognize the DJs who play good music.
DJs are very important and they make people around the world hear our music.
The aim or the goal is to throw spotlight on DJs. So wherever we go, you know, a lot of times these DJs play and people don't even know who they are. They don't know their names. So this is an opportunity to get to know the DJs who play the music.
Watch out for Ghana DJ Awards on
On that note, we end Showbiz here on Joy News today. My name is Becky. Good afternoon to you, Brace.
Good afternoon, Becky. Always looking dashy there. All right, and that's how we wrap up today's bulletin. There's more news on myjoyonline.com. My name is Samuel Kojo Brace. Up next is Marketplace with Daryl Cole. Good afternoon.